Okay, I'm logging in to Alfresco as a normal user. The first method I'll show you of starting a workflow is to navigate to the document that you would like to route through the workflow and click Start Workflow. Then you'll see a list of the out-of-the-box workflows as well as any custom workflows that you've deployed. Let's start with an ad hoc workflow. An ad hoc workflow is just a way of asking someone to take some sort of ad hoc action on a piece of content. Give it a due date and a priority, and we will assign it to a user, test user 1. We can see the document is in the list, and we will just click Start Workflow. Now, if we look at that document in the document library, we can see an icon that indicates that this document is part of an active workflow. If we open up the document and scroll down towards the bottom, we'll see a workflow section, and we can see the workflow that that document is part of, and we can click to it and see some more information about the workflow that we just started, who it's waiting on. We can even look at the process diagram. This one's not that exciting because it's a simple two-step workflow. So let's log out and see what it looks like from the perspective of the person we assign the workflow to. I'm logging in as tuser1, and it looks like in my tasks dashlet I have the task asking me to take a look at that spreadsheet. Now I could click on that, but let's click on active tasks so you can see that if you had a bunch of tasks, you can filter those tasks by a variety of ways. So I can filter by due date, by priority, and then by tasks that are assigned to me or that are waiting for someone to claim them. I'll go ahead and open up that task. I can click through to the document if I want to, and I could download the document or take any sort of actions that I have permissions to take. I could also mark the task with a status. So maybe I don't want to mark it as done. I just want to say that it's in progress and save the task. And that way, if someone else looks at that task, they can see that I've set it to in progress. So let's finish the task, mark it done, and now the task is not in my list anymore. So let's log out as that user and log back in as jpots, and we will see what has happened on our end. So now we've been notified that the test user has completed the task. And so I can just mark this done, and now that's completely off the list. Another way to start a workflow is to just click Start Workflow in the My Tasks dashlet. Same dialog here, just selecting which workflow I want to do. Let's do a group review and approve workflow. So this is asking a group to review and either approve or reject a document. Now, I don't have any documents here. In order to save time, we're just going to route this workflow without any content. So we've sent this to sales, and sales has two members in the group, tuser1 and tuser2. So we log in as tuser1, and we see a task asking us to take a look at the budget. Let's approve this, pretend that we actually looked at the budget. Now, because the workflow was started requiring 50% of people to approve, when I log in as tuser2, there's nothing in my task list here. That's because the task received enough approvals and has moved on in the workflow. So once it receives the required approval amount, it moves on. And if we log back in as my jpots user, we get the alert that that task is complete. All right, let's start another workflow. The parallel review and approve workflow is really just like the group review and approve workflow, but it allows you to send to individual users instead of a group. Let's look at the pooled review and approve. I think that one's more interesting. So the way this works is we're asking for approve or reject, and we're assigning to a group, similar to what we just did. But in this case, when the members of the group get a task in their list, it's up to one of the group members to claim the task. So basically what you're saying is, I need sales to take a look at this, but I only need one person from that entire group to take action. So now you can see that this is unassigned, and if T-user1 opens up the task, they now see a button at the top that says claim. So I can claim this, and when I do that, it takes it out of the rest of the group's inbox. So now no one else will see that in their task list. I've claimed this as a task I'm going to work on. Now I could save this status and whatnot, but let's just go ahead and put a little comment here and approve it. If I wanted to, I could release that task back to the pool. Maybe I claim something and then decide later that I'm not going to work on it. And if I release it to the pool, it goes back into the group's inbox. Now I'm logged back in as JPOTS, and we're just taking a look here at the workflow, and we can see that test user 1 had the review task. And I can open up this diagram, a little bit more interesting than the ad hoc diagram. And let's go ahead and mark this as complete. So I'll just edit the task and click task done. Okay, the last workflow that we haven't talked about is just the review and approve workflow. And this is just a simple workflow that asks for approval and goes to a single user.